Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head of the Department OB and HR, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. Today we will learn the module Balanced Scorecard. This module is from the paper Contemporary Issues in HRM and Future Trends. The learning outcomes of this module are: we will be introducing the concept of Balanced Scorecard and its framework, what exactly is a balanced scorecard, and what are the challenges and implications in implementing a balanced scorecard. On the completion of this module, the students will be able to understand the balanced scorecard framework and its implementation, learn about the linkage between balanced scorecard and organizational effectiveness. The Balanced Scorecard is a strategic performance management tool, a semi-standard structured report supported by design methods and automation tools which can be used by managers to keep a track of the execution of activities by the staff within their control and to monitor the consequences arising from these actions. A balanced scorecard, that is BSC, is commonly used in two broad forms: as individual scorecards that contain measures to manage performance. Those scorecards may be operational or have a more strategic intent. As a strategic management system as originally defined by Kaplan and Norton, the critical characteristics that define a balanced scorecard are its focus on the strategic agenda of the organization concerned, selection of a small number of data items to monitor a mix of financial and non-financial data items. Now let us understand the Balanced Scorecard framework. The Kaplan and Norton Balanced Scorecard is a strategic approach and performance management system that enables organizations to translate a company's vision. The perspectives are financial perspective, customer perspective, business process perspective, and learning and growth perspective. The financial perspective are: Kaplan and Norton do not disregard the traditional need for financial data. Timely and accurate funding of data will always be a priority, and managers will do whatever necessary to provide it. There is a lot of handling and processing of the financial data. With the implementation of a corporate database, more of the processing can be centralized and automated. Customer perspective refers to an increase in realization of the importance of customer focus and customer satisfaction in any business. The leading indicators are: if the customers are not satisfied, they will eventually find other suppliers that will meet their needs. Poor performance is thus a leading indicator of future decline, even though the current financial picture may look good. Business perspective refers to the internal business processes. Metrics based on this perspective helps the manager to know that the business is running smooth and whether its products and services conform to the customer's requirements. There are two kinds of business processes that may be identified: mission-oriented processes and the support processes. Mission-oriented processes are the special functions of government offices, and many unique problems are encountered in these processes. The support processes are more repetitive in nature and is easier to measure and benchmark using generic metrics. Learning and growth refers to employee training and corporate cultural attitudes which are related to both the individual and corporate self-improvement. In a knowledge worker organization, people are the main resource. In the current climate of rapid technological change, it is necessary for the knowledge workers to be in a continuous learning mode. The three objectives for the learning and growth are employee capabilities, facilitating people and information system capabilities. Employee capabilities refer to the core competencies and skills which every employee should be obtaining for supporting the strategy. Facilitating people to gain a better understanding of the company's aspects like marketing, sales, etc. Information system capabilities refer to identifying and exploring which information system, that is CRM, ERP, BMP, that we might need to execute in the strategy effectively. The good part about a balanced scorecard method is that it is tactical and concrete. While strategic planning documents often tend to be passive, they only say what should be accomplished, but they never say how it would be measured. Thus, balanced scorecard attempts to be active. Now let us understand how balanced scorecard is implemented in real business. The major units throughout organizations often establish their own scorecard, which is then integrated in the scorecards of other units to achieve the scorecard of the overall organization. Metrics used in the balanced scorecard are typically called the KPIs or the key performance indicators because they measure how well the organization would perform against a predefined goals and targets. There are two major types of KPIs: leading indicators and lagging indicators. Leading indicators measure the activities that have a significant effect on future performance. They are powerful measures because it gives the manager more time to influence the outcome, whereas lagging indicators measure the output of the past activity, that is financial matrix. Now let us understand what are the different types of balanced scorecard. A specific multidimensional framework for strategic performance management that combines the financial and the non-financial strategic measures. It additionally describes the strategy by using the cause and effect relationships. It also implements the strategy by defining the objectives, action plans, results, and connecting incentives with the balanced scorecard. There are several challenges that an organization faces while implementing the balanced scorecard. Many large companies use a performance management system like the balanced scorecard, and small and medium enterprises do not have a performance management system. Companies that start with a performance measurement system face difficulties with the implementation part. Some of the key issues that can cause a balanced scorecard initiative to fail are: a poorly defined matrix. Metrics need to be relevant and clear. They should be depicted with visual indicators that are easily understood. In addition, metrics need to be collected at the ideal frequency for making decisions and defined in a way that the measurement can be consistently applied across the firm, even if the targets of the performance differ, and in fact they should. Lack of efficient data collection and reporting. A primary reason that companies overemphasize the financial matrix at the expense of other important operating variables is the simple fact that systems already exist for collecting and reporting the financial measures. Lack of a formal review structure. Scorecards would work best when they are reviewed frequently enough to make a difference. If a metric value changes on a daily basis and the variables within the control of management can be affected on a daily basis, then the matrix should be reviewed on a continuous daily basis. No process improvement methodology. The value of balanced scorecard system relies on the premise that once a performance problem are identified, there is an efficient and effective method for diagnosing and addressing the root causes. The solutions can then be developed and performance gaps can be closed. Having a too much of internal focus is one of the major criticisms of the balanced scorecard. This is not as much as indictment of the principle as this is the way the companies put the principle into practice. To help overcome this problem, you should always start with an external focus, the view of your organization's super system. Organizational effectiveness is a primary concern. As per a research article, as per the reference cited in quadrant 3, it states that the organization and management science has emerged in the early 1900s in conjunction with the Industrial Revolution, an evolution that has occurred in concepts about the nature and function of organizations and the criteria for organizational effectiveness. These generic functions include defining mission and establishing purpose and goals, leading and motivating, strategizing and planning, structuring, organizing and designing, controlling and establishing rules and authorities, setting performance standards and value expectations, staffing, developing and managing human resources, budgeting and allocating resources, evaluating, learning and improving, managing external relations. Balanced scorecard and organizational effectiveness. One of the recent trends in management today is the balanced scorecard. Though empirical research and many success stories show that strategic measurements can work wonders, there are also many cases where scorecards simply did not work. The most balanced perspective is that these tools work well when they are well implemented and can have a strong impact on the organizational effectiveness. The balanced scorecard suggests that we view the organization from 4 perspectives and to develop matrix, collect data and analyze it relative to each of these perspectives. That is, the learning and growth perspective, the business process perspective, the customer perspective, the financial perspective. Now let us understand the framework as proposed by Kaplan and Norton for feedback. In the area of setting and monitoring targets for the senior management teams, Kaplan and Norton suggested that what was needed to measure performance was a structured methodology for continually relinking an organization's vision, strategies and objectives with a set of predefined quantifiable measurements. High energy teams. In a research that was done by Dick McCann, they have uncovered a powerful development process or sequence for teams to go through that effectively will stretch them because it energizes them. In practice, the sequence can be varied to fit a series of modular team development workshops. Where to focus the team's development can also be diagnosed via the strategic team development profile. Thus, in this module, we have learned that balanced scorecard can be used to measure the organization's effectiveness. It can be used to measure the individual's performance or strategic performance of the organization. There are several challenges that one faces in implementing the balanced scorecard, that is, a poorly defined matrix and no formal review structure, too much of focus on the internal structure. Thank you.